down, and then, out of nowhere,
In the dead of winter, 1944, the Ardennes forest became a frozen hell on earth. Hitler launched his last desperate gamble, the Battle of the Bulge, throwing hundreds of thousands of troops and thousands of tanks against a thin American line. In the midst of this chaos, where death seemed inevitable, some soldiers didn't just survive. They defied the odds in ways that seem almost impossible. Today, we're retelling the stories of 7 of these heroes who stared death in the face and refused to blink. Our first story is that of Private First Class Vernon McGarity. Part of the 393rd Infantry Regiment, McGarity's squad was ambushed near the town of Rochereth, Belgium. Wounded in the leg, he refused evacuation. For hours, under intense fire, he single-handedly destroyed a German machine gun nest, braved enemy snipers to rescue wounded comrades, and treated their injuries with his own first aid kit. When his rifle froze solid, he charged the enemy with a carbine, forcing them to withdraw. McGarity was captured later, but his actions saved his entire squad from annihilation. For his incredible bravery, he was awarded the Medal of Honor. Next, we have Lieutenant Lyle Boak and his intelligence and reconnaissance platoon. Just 18 men and their 4 officers. They were ordered to hold a crucial ridge near Lanzerth, Belgium. They were told to expect maybe a company of German troops. What they got was the spearhead of the entire German 6th Panzer Army. For an entire day, this tiny unit held off a force of over 500 German paratroopers. Using their knowledge of the terrain, they created a devastating killing field. They repelled 3 massive assaults, inflicting hundreds of casualties. Out of ammunition and completely surrounded, they were eventually captured. But their heroic stand bought vital time for the American lines to regroup, disrupting the German timetable for days. Their story was almost lost to history, but today, Boak's platoon is recognized as one of the most decorated small units of World War II. Let's talk about the battered bastards of Bastogne, the 101st Airborne Division, and one medic in particular, Eugene Rowe, portrayed in the series Band of Brothers. Rowe's courage was the real deal. In the besieged town of Bastogne, supplies were almost non-existent. It was freezing, and the constant artillery shelling was terrifying. Medics were prime targets. Yet Rowe darted across open fields under direct fire, time and time again, to reach wounded soldiers. With almost no medical supplies, using snow to clean wounds and torn sheets for bandages, he worked tirelessly, saving countless lives in the aid station, a bombed-out church. He was a beacon of hope in a place filled with despair, a quiet hero whose calm demeanor and unwavering dedication kept men alive. Then there's the incredible story of Staff Sergeant Curtis Shoup. On December 17th, his unit was trying to defend a vital crossroads. An enemy tank column appeared out of the fog. Shoup grabbed a bazooka and, with complete disregard for his own life, ran directly towards the lead panzer tank. He fired a rocket, disabling it and blocking the road. He was hit by machine gun fire, but continued to fight, directing his men and firing his rifle until he was killed by a second burst. His sacrifice stopped the German advance cold, giving his company the crucial moments they needed to establish a stronger defense. Shoup was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, a testament to a man who gave everything to halt the enemy tide. Imagine being a tank commander, surrounded and outnumbered. That was the reality for Staff Sergeant Lafayette, War Daddy. Cool was already a legend by the time of the Ardennes, having destroyed over 250 enemy vehicles. During the battle, his Sherman tank, named In the Mood, found itself facing a squadron of superior German Panther tanks. Instead of retreating, Poole charged. In a series of brilliant maneuvers, he outflanked and destroyed 3 Panthers before his own tank was finally knocked out. Poole was severely wounded, losing a leg, but he survived. His aggressive tactics and refusal to back down were legendary. inspiring his fellow tankers to fight against overwhelming odds. Another man who became a legend was Major Richard Dick Winters of Easy Company, 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment. After the horrors of fighting in Holland, Winters led his men into the woods outside Bastogne. The conditions were brutal, with temperatures dropping far below freezing. Winters' leadership was the glue that held his company together. He was always on the front line, sharing the same risks as his men, ensuring they had proper defensive positions, and constantly checking on their welfare. His tactical genius was on full display during the attack on the town of Foy, where he masterfully coordinated an assault that broke the German lines. He wasn't just a commander. He was a leader who led by example, earning the undying loyalty of his men, and ensuring they not only fought, but survived one of the harshest battles of the war. Finally, we have the story of Second Lieutenant Audie Murphy, America's most decorated soldier of World War II. While his most famous stand happened later, in 1945, his time in the Ardennes was just as harrowing. Murphy and his men endured the relentless cold and constant German attacks. He was known for his incredible marksmanship and cool-headedness under fire. On one occasion, he single-handedly took out a German machine gun crew that had pinned down his platoon, allowing them to advance. Murphy seemed to have a sixth sense for survival, always putting himself in harm's way, but somehow coming out alive. He battled frostbite and exhaustion alongside his men, never asking them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. His journey through the frozen forests of the Ardennes further forged him into the soldier who would perform one of the most incredible feats of bravery in American history just a month later. From the freezing foxholes of Bastogne to the blood-soaked snow of the forests, these 7 soldiers represent the thousands who fought with unimaginable courage. They were ordinary men placed in an extraordinary, terrifying situation, and they rose to the challenge. Their stories of defiance in the face of death remind us of the incredible resilience of the human spirit. They fought for each other, for their country, and for the hope of a world free from tyranny. Their legacy is one of courage, sacrifice, and survival against all odds. Thank you so much for watching. If you found these stories as incredible as we did, please hit that like button and subscribe for more chapters from history. Let us know in the comments which story resonated with you the most. We'll see you in the next video.